Dogs. Whoa, it's okay. Whoa. Oh. It's okay. Oh my God. What's up, adventure seekers? The Videobob here. I'm here in Albuquerque. Hard to spell, not fun to be in. Home of Breaking Bad, which is obvious because Jesse Pinkman is dancing on every corner begging for money early in the morning. I'm traveling to Texas to my shop, and this is a surplus place that I've stopped at many times. Surplus City. They have a sister place called Apache Surplus out in Phoenix. And it's a source for prop builders and people like myself, people that are in electronics. There's not too many electronic surplus places left in the United States. This is one of the few. Now, a side note, I've purchased the DJI Pocket 3 camera. Most of the vloggers on YouTube are using these. I'm gonna try it out today. So I'm gonna transition from using this is my iPhone 16 Pro Max, and I'm gonna switch over to this thing, and we're gonna try it out for the first time today, so it's sort of an experiment. And we're gonna go check out Surplus City. I'm gonna turn you on to a secret place that only prop builders know about, and we're gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna spend a minute in here, and I think you're gonna enjoy seeing behind the scenes of how guys like me do what I do. Let's check out Surplus City in Albuquerque. Okay, well, this is my first time using this. This is the gimbal camera. This is a DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Just got this thing. So we're gonna see if the audio's different, the video's different. Anyway, this is Surplus City. There it is. I gotta get used to this thing because when you turn it, like it just tracks your face, you know. So we're gonna try this thing out, and I'm gonna show you Surplus City. Here we go. All right, first when you get in, you got a pretty massive tool selection. This is all brand new stuff. And this area is where I usually spend a lot of time because you got things like this, right? Good old-fashioned switches. This doesn't have the same wide angle as the phone. Oh look, I thought that said VB. So the thing is again, this doesn't have the same wide angle lens, and I'm trying to get used to moving it around. See, because the problem is I'm trying to tilt up. Okay, I think I figured it out. I've got it to where I can tilt. The tilt is locked. So anyway, when you're building these movie props, a lot of times you're looking for specific little connectors and little switches and all these kinds of things, right? Now, a lot of these scopes and things, that's real test equipment. And this stuff is going to range from the 60s, 70s, 80s. Now, I'm going to be honest about something here. I normally would have probably gatekept this and never shared this because I wouldn't want people coming in and getting all my stuff. But at this point, we've picked it clean. You know, they're not getting any new surplus. Not really. Most of this stuff has always been here. And the reason these places just go out of business is because at some point, the metal value and the gold value and the silver value of the stuff that's in here exceeds any value that any of the electronics would have. And it gets to be a point where there's just nothing you could do with any of this stuff. I mean, this thing is, you know how old this is? I mean, it's crazy old. I'm going to switch back over to the phone. I think the phone is better for this situation. I'm going to switch back over to the iPhone for this. And this is why I argue this with a lot of my bloggers. The phone has this giant screen, big battery, you can see what's going on, and it has the super wide angle lens. And I think that we need that for this. See, this is the iPhone using this. So this is sort of a double experiment. Look how much more of the aisle I can see using the iPhone's wide angle screen. But anyway, as I was saying, like, wow, look how cool that is. Wow. It's early in the morning. I'm still grumpy. Anyway, we've picked all this stuff clean, you know. Now, there's still stuff that you could still use, like indicators, connector switches, these kind of things. But as far as all the stuff that we need for Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Knight Rider, that kind of stuff, whatever hasn't been directly used or figured out has been reproduced, recreated, or sourced or whatever. But when we were first building the time machine back in 2003 and 4, it was places like this that I would scour, and we didn't know what we were looking for. We just had visual references. When I first started doing the time machine, like, I'm telling you, I took photographs of my TV. Like, I would pause the DVD and take a Polaroid of it because we didn't have a way to make a screenshot back then. You understand? And so that's how we used to do stuff. Now, Apex Surplus out in LA was the original source of the Time Machine, Ghostbusters, Knight Rider, and so many of the other things that were done around the same time by the same bunch of people. But stores like this they carry a lot of the same stuff. Whenever you have a town that's anywhere near, I wonder if this is real silver, anywhere near a military base, you're going to have things like that. I mean, back here, this is just thrift store crap. Got a frog in my throat. It's pissed. I have a frog in my throat. But I mean, look at these racks of equipment. This kind of stuff. These are all power supplies. And trust me, we went through every power supply in this building several years ago, 10 years ago. And I'm telling you, the exact same stuff is still here. Well, it hasn't budged. But we were looking for power supplies because there's a power supply that sits in the center console of the DeLorean time machine. But what's happened is, with modern technology, with CNC machining, 3D printing, resin casting, scanning, all this kind of stuff, we've recreated all that stuff. So I have no expectations of finding a single thing in here that I would want to use, because the stuff just doesn't budge. It sits here for decades. And what happens is, the guys that run these places, that own them, are hoarders. So no offense if the fellow who owns this place happens to see this video, I applaud you for keeping it alive and open all these years. But the bottom line is, these people are hoarders, and they love having this stuff. They don't want to sell it. They don't want to sell it because you offer them a price and they're like, nah. They literally want to keep it. They want it to stay here. You have to pay a high premium for all this stuff. It's not cheap. They want a lot of money for it. Because I'm like, look, this thing's been sitting here for gosh darn decades, and they want a fortune for it, because they don't want to sell it. They're emotionally attached to it. Every guy that I've ever met that's owned one of these, look at these old 6x9s. Why are they orange? That's exactly how they are. They're basically hoarders. And a lot of the people who buy this stuff are hoarders. Because you'll never find the tube that you're looking for in here. And so you say, okay, how do they stay in business, right? So basically, I'd say 80% of this store and its stuff never ever sells, never moves. I don't even want to walk down this aisle, right? How they stay in business is they always have a little side hustle. So this guy's side hustle is military clothing, right? So people come in here on a regular basis, like security guards. He's got comic books, right? Comic books, DVDs and videos. Those probably aren't selling real well. Shoes. So people will come in and buy clothing, shoes, brand new military stuff, right? Boots. And that keeps them in business, selling that stuff. Preppers will come in and buy these MREs, knives, might have some smoke stuff, tons of cold weather gear, uniforms, hats, So, and then also, he's probably doing some scrapping of his own, because they have massive supplies of wire. And the wire, as you know, copper, they'll have their own wire stripping going on, copper. All this stuff's made of copper, right? And like, for instance, okay, These are some capacitors like you would find on the time machine, but none of the correct ones. You know, we've exhausted this store for time machine stuff, trust me. Me and every other builder. We've all been here. And then, now he has hardware, okay? And really good hardware. They just do it by the pound. I don't even know if they do it by the piece. But like, and it's kind of organized a little bit. But, I mean, just buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of screws. It's like, places like this just don't, you would never make this again. Like if you were trying to, these are probably like stainless or aluminum. You know, this is all stuff that was hardware that was part of probably some manufacturing plant, military place, and they had just gobs and gobs and gobs of it, and they just sold it for metal weight. And that's what happens. And so the problem is trying to navigate. Like, you know, when you go to an Ace Hardware or whatever, everything is clearly like you would know where to find it, right? Here, you just, and that's really the problem. The organization, or lack of, you know, they've been organizing it for decades. Just think about all of these metal trays. Like, where'd you even get all of these, right? And you could see that they're trying to make some attempt to go through and organize some of these things. Yeah, wing nuts. I mean, these are like really lightweight. So what happens is, you know, luckily he is in an area of town that's not valuable. So this is a large piece of land, probably a couple of 3 to 5 acres. I don't know. So wait till I show you outside. And yeah, check this out. This is gonna blow your mind. Oof. All right. Those have been here for like 20 years. I've been coming here for a long time. This outside area, right? This is where they keep the big stuff. Look at these rows. See, look, these rows of capacitors. Like that's about the right size capacitor on the time machine, and you could paint them. I mean, he's got gazillions of them here, right? Trust me, this stuff has been here and none of it's moved in a long time. Long time. And it sits out here in the sun and in the weather and gets even further deteriorated. And like, can you imagine what that piece of equipment was worth at one time? And so he's got all this space, a lot of space and all this junk, and none of it, even if it had value at one time, after sitting out here, it's not gonna have any value now. And it just needs to be scrapped for metal. And what I've found happens almost every single time with these places is that the owner finally dies. And if they have any kids or anything, they just sell the property and everything in it, and it gets scrapped. And big trucks just show up and just with claws and just put it into things, into dump trucks, haul it off and shred it all for just metal, you know? And it's sad because a lot of the stuff, there's stuff that's probably here that's amazing. I'm not seeing anything particularly good that's usable in any way. These old file cabinets and things, you know, because after they sit out here, like that time safe has been here. It was here 10 years ago. You know, it doesn't budge. So I don't know how much recycling is happening. I mean, this stainless steel, you're not recycling this stuff. And I did a video here, I think 5 years ago, I want to say. And I'm telling you, you go back and watch that video, and I'm sure it's exactly the same. But I've walked all through here in the past. But in fact, I think that, I don't know if that wall is new. I don't know if it is. One of the things that I've also noticed about these places is like, you need to bring a drink with you, water, because there's just a certain amount of like asbestos you're breathing or whatever, you know? And it just gets into your lungs just being here. I mean, look at all this stuff. How it got here, the amount of effort it took to just put all this stuff in here, the labor spent, the time spent. This is not profitable. And this is why these places don't exist. I don't want to walk back there. None of that stuff is moved. You get the idea. None of this is any good. Junkyards in general are just not surviving anymore. Oh shit. Dogs. Whoa, it's okay. Whoa. Oh. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right, buddy. Okay. It's okay, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. It's okay. It's all right. Good boy. Good boy. Go home. Go home. It's okay. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Go home. Go home. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Go home. Go bed. Go home. Go home. Go home. Go. Good boy. Go home. Good boy. Go home. Go home. Holy shit. I forgot to put up the dog. Good boy. Go home. Go home. Go home. I gotta watch my ass. I don't want this fucking pit bull. Jesus Christ. Scared the shit out of me. Go home. Go home. Get back to your house. Go to bed. Go to bed. Be a good boy. I just Jedi mind tricked this fucking dog. My God. I'm scared shitless right now. I'm gonna go back inside. My heart is pounding. Oh my God. Ow. Fuck me. Oh my God. I gotta tell you that I'm a little bit traumatized because I've been attacked by dogs twice in my life. When I was a kid, had my whole face ripped off right here by a dog, and then a chow had bit my leg severely. It looked like a bite out of a chicken leg. So I've been attacked by dogs before, and that just scared the ever-loving shit out of me. I gotta calm down. I was about to have a heart attack. That wasn't cool. All right, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Oh my God. All right, well, you guys get the point. I'm shaking right now. That wasn't cool. That was a scary looking dog. Look at this, I got every kind of cord. Let me get distracted again. Let me get the fuck out of here. Anyway, you guys get the point. As far as using that Osmo, I think that thing's only good for walking around doing selfie video. But as far as showing the landscape up close, I don't think it works as good as the phone. I don't know if I'm going to use it. I might take it back. Because I've been using the phone for the entire time I've been doing this, and it's always just worked. Yeah, no shit. There's something you don't see every day. How long's that been up there? That's been up there longer than nobody told him. It's been there for a while. That's, you know, I'm not making a joke. That's been hanging up there since it was okay to have one. I'm being serious, you know, like I clearly remember growing up in Texas, everywhere you went, you saw one of those flags in every gas station for sale, you know, and it was just common, wasn't a big deal. You know, as many of you know, I used to work for Vinnie Paul from Pantera, and almost every Pantera thing they put out had that on it. Hats, t-shirts, albums. The last album we did at Big Ben Records, not the last, but one of the ones we did was with David Allen Coe called Rebel Meets Rebel, and the entire CD cover was that. We sold it in Walmart and Best Buy, and it was that. That was in 2006. So it's like, that used to be a totally common thing. We all watched it generally on TV, and then one day, we were told that it's a Nazi flag and you're not allowed to have it anymore. So, I get it though, I get it. People are upset, I get it. But, just pointing it out, it's just, I'm pointing it out because it's a relic of history, and I'm showing things that are in here that are relics. I love seeing stuff new in the box, like those Midland antennas. Like those are 20, 30, 40 years old, for sure. Stuff that's new in the package, and just new. Some of the stuff not so much, but that's great. I love it. Oh, I gotta go outside. Dogs. So yeah, surplus city, guys. Let's see, we'll make this the thumbnail. There it is. Yeah, these places just, I'm surprised it's still here. A lot of other surplus places. There's used to be Jones Surplus over there. It's gone. Because you've got a nice big piece of property. But the thing is here in Albuquerque, in this part of town, it's probably not worth much. Now, when I say not worth much, I mean, he's probably got a couple of $1 million worth of property and building here. I don't know. I could be wrong. I haven't checked the Zillow, but the thing about it is these guys don't want to give it up. That dude could sell, if he's the owner, there's probably other siblings and other people involved and whatever, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want to see it happen, but like if it was just sold, it would be over with. All right, I need to get some lunch in me. It's later than it should be. I need to get out of here. Now, every place has their burger place, you know. Texas has WhataBurger. Albuquerque has Blake's LottaBurger. I don't think I've ever had a Blake's LottaBurger. I'm gonna try this place out. I think they had LottaBurger on Breaking Bad. I've seen it on Better Call Saul and the other shows, I think. You know, it's just one of those kind of places. Let's try it out, see if it's any good. It's a Bob Eats Albuquerque. God help me. Eggs. Good ice. 1952. You'll find most of these burger places all started right about the same time because I think they all stole the idea from each other at the exact same moment. Like this thing went across the country and it was like, oh my gosh, have you tried this? Let's open up a restaurant and do that. It seems like right about that time was when everybody decided to do this thing, you know. But, you know, it's a lot like Griff's in Texas. I've shown you Griff's before. So, we'll see. This place looks like it's been here a long time. That's a big burger. I wasn't expecting it to be that big. Texas WhataBurgers and the Griff's burgers, Texas style burgers, are wide. So rather than being tall, they're flat and wide, like Texas. This is way more hamburger than I think I wanted. Wow, you know what? That's it. It looks. It's one of the few times I've gotten a burger that kind of looks like the picture. I'm gonna try it as it is. There's no seasoning on it. Or if there is, not much. Take this lettuce off. Some of these onions. Might be too early in the morning to eat this. The bread is soft. I think the meat could be cooked a little more. I mean, well, what I mean is, it doesn't have a lot of char on it, which is what gives it flavor. The fries, though, these are like seasoned fries. They look good. You got skin on them, I like that. I like the fries. Here's the burger, fries, and the camera. There it is. Decided to just wrap it up and take it to go because I need to get some miles in. Running late, making these stops. You know, when you're going 70 miles an hour, that's 70 miles an hour that you're missing. So anyway, I have to eat a little slow in the morning, you know. crackheads hanging around here too. I guess one of the good things about this Osmo is that you can use it when you're, you know, when your phone is occupied, like I'm using it in the truck right now as a GPS and everything else. But man, this area is just sketchy. Now, I don't know if it's just the area. I'm sure there's nice parts of Albuquerque. I just haven't ever been there to them. This bonehead, don't do that. This guy's stopping to let me in. Don't do that. You cause traffic wrecks when you do that. You think you're being nice, but you're causing a problem. Anyway, so I guess this thing has its place. Maybe the trick is to use it in conjunction with the phone. The reason I bought this Osmo 3 is because you can use the wireless microphone with it directly, which I'm not using right now. And I just wonder how much that's going to really matter. The face tracking is cool because you could just kind of hold this thing out and it will just automatically find your face. Well, made it to Amarillo. It's about 16 degrees. There's snow and ice on the ground. But it didn't stop me from stopping at Buc-ee's, of course. Having one of the greatest poops you can have. Their bathrooms are nicer than mine. Oh my God, it is cold out here. It's cold. All right, got me some snacks, and I'm gonna hightail it to Fort Worth. Oh boy, oh boy. Look at this. Not used to seeing this. I mean, I know it's just a little bit of snow and ice, but we generally see none of that. It's cold.